I'm going to show you how to add rocket fuel onto your drives so that you can hit it longer than you have in years. Now, this technique is so powerful that dozens of my own students have used it to pick up over 30 yards per drive. But yet it's also so simple that it's been staring you in the face every time you've watched golf on TV and watched your favorite golfers or on YouTube or on Instagram. They've been doing it the whole time right in front of you, and you're gonna kick yourself that you did not pick up on this earlier. Now, way back in the early 90s, or possibly earlier, back in the 80s or even the 70s, some really smart guy played swings of great golfers on either a VHS tape or maybe one of those early Sony handy cams, and discovered that the greatest golfers in history all shared one thing in common. That is, despite either being flat or upright or short or tall, it doesn't really matter. They all do this one thing the same. What does a VHS tape or a Sony Handycam have in common? And that is they capture video at 30 frames per second. So once you start studying the greatest swings and you start to count frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, remember it's 30 frames per second. So if you get to the top of the swing and it was 30 clicks of your finger on the fast forward button, on the frame advance button, to get to the top of the swing, and 10 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, down to impact, that would be 30 to 10. In other words, a 3-to-1 tempo ratio. Now, once your swing is set on the 3-to-1 ratio, you will hit the ball longer and just simply more consistently than you ever had before. Now, as it turns out, there are several variations of this that are very popular. As you see, not very many golfers who play on TV swing at 30 to 10 with their driver. You'll only get the really slow, syrupy guys that are even close to that. Say somebody like an Ernie Els in his prime, or a Fred Couples in his prime. Pretty slow golf swing. But in fact, the most common tempo on the PGA Tour, somebody like you see Jake Knapp here, is 24 to 8. So it's still 3-to-1 when you divide it down, but it's now quicker, 24 to the top and 8 frames to the bottom. So still in beautiful tempo, but just a little bit faster. Now, interestingly, as it turns out, that the speed that a pendulum that's about 1 meter long, it's this little, the driver's a little longer than that, but the speed at which it swings back and forth is about 1 second in each direction. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, just like that. Now, that would be the same thing as someone who's swinging 30 to 10. So you're 30 here, and then since it's 3-to-1, 1/3 of a second down to the ball, and then the other 2/3 of the second is going to be spent finishing the swing. So it is 1 second in each direction. It's like a dance. It's like just dancing to a beat. It would be and 1 and 2, or if you would rather waltz, it would be and 1, 2, 3, hit 2, 3, and you're in beautiful rhythm. Now, for a lot of you out there, that tip alone is going to be gold. It's going to help you so much, especially under pressure. Hit the ball consistent and straight and solidly. As it turns out, we can manipulate tempo in order to manipulate club head speed. This is what the longest hitters do when they want to go after one. This is what every long drive pro does when they were trying to hit a ball over 400 yards. Now, I love using my orange whip for this. Super heavy ball and flexi shaft make it really easy to know when my swing is being gravity driven and not getting too quick. So you'll see in a second why this is so important. But notice how the shaft never bends here. As long as gravity is the dominating force pulling the head down and outwards, it's only, you see, if I jerked it or rushed it, see, I can get the shaft to really bend. That would be somebody who's not in the 3-to-1 rhythm at all. And this is going to be very important because as we manipulate your tempo, it's going to be really important. It's very easy to fall out of the 3-to-1 ratio when you try to swing differently. So now you can try this. Pick up a club at home. You just make small swings at first, and you can count to yourself 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if you were to do it back and forth like a sprinkler, back and forth, you're going to see that every time you say the number 1, your club will be passing back over the T again. So it would be and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there is the rhythm of playing good golf. That is the rhythm you want to use when you're using approach shots and you're trying to go for maximum accuracy. But you can manipulate this, and it can cause you to manipulate and increase your club head speed. This is like an elegant trick that you can play on your brain and on your body if you were to speed up the tempo. So remember, we talked about 1 second in thirds. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1 to the ball. That would be your third, or 3 to 1. And then the rest of the 2/3 swing finishing. Instead, what if we went 3/4 of a second to the top and 1/4 of a second down to the ball? So that would be a faster tempo, but still with a 3 to 1 ratio. So it would look something more like this. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now notice how much more brisk that was, and yet still, I don't have the shaft to the club bending because gravity is always assisting it still. I'm letting it, gravity kind of still dictate, but I am speeding up that rhythm to now 3/4 and 1/4. So this would be more like if a pro is swinging 21 to 7. 21 clicks of the old VHS camera to the top of the swing, and just 7 clicks down to the ball, and the other 14 are going to be used to finish the swing. Now, the biggest pitfall, the one hurdle that you're going to have to watch out for, and in a second I'm going to show you what this does to your club head speed because it's absolutely amazing. But one thing you need to remember is that there is a pause. There is a very brief pause at the top of each one of these. If you're swinging back and forth, it's like a weightless moment. It's just for a split second. In other words, you don't want to go like this and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, which most people do the first time they try to swing more briskly. They don't swing with the 3 to 1 rhythm. They jump ahead of the 3 to 1 rhythm and go maybe 2.5 to 1. You see how much the shaft bent there if you look back at that in slow motion. And this is going to get you not any more club head speed because you're not in the rhythm, and it's going to make you hit it very crooked too. So this is the big pitfall to beware of, that there's absolutely a pause here. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's if I went on a very slow cadence so that you can kind of see that pause. Now, the other thing I want you to think about when you're doing these tempo swings is to feel the speed building slowly and crescendoing down at the bottom. So the other thing people will try to do is they'll try to get up here. They might pause, then they'll kind of start trying to rush the backswing. But I want you to feel like this slow acceleration where the club then gets very heavy at the bottom as it reaches its maximum speed right when it's hitting the ball. So something like this, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you simply are just waiting for a second before you really pour it on right at the bottom. Rather than trying to pour it on right back here, just feel that crescendo, almost with dictated by the gravity, pulling the club outwards for you, and feel a big crescendo and a very heavy club head right down at the bottom of the swing. Now I want you to keep watching all the way through to the end, because near the end of this video, I'm going to share a bonus tip with you that long drivers pretty much exclusively use that allows them to use this tempo and technique that I'm showing you in this video to squeeze even more yardage out of their drive. All right, now let's show the proof in the pudding. I've got my RIP radar here. I'm going to read a couple of swings at both the 30 to 10 or the regular golf swing tempo. And then I'm going to speed a couple up more to that 3/4 of a second to the top and 1/4. So it's going to be a quicker tempo, but still very even and rhythmic in the 3 to 1 ratio. So here comes the first one. This would be your normal tempo on the course. All right, we've got 108 miles an hour there. Now, the next one, I'm simply going to be in rhythm, but it's going to be more brisk and brisk the other way. They're going to match each other. in speed. So no sudden speed up. This is going to be even and rhythmic throughout, just like this. There we've got 117 miles an hour on that one. So we've picked up 9 miles an hour at the same amount of effort, simply with this mind trick that the tempo has caused us. See, we like to be symmetrical. So if you take the club back in rhythm, back and forth, and then suddenly trick yourself by going back and forth, your downswing speed is going to match the backswing speed in order to mirror and stay in rhythm. It's a great trick that's going to help you get a lot more yardage out of your drives almost by accident. Now, you don't have to use this every time, but really when you get to a hole where you really want to get that extra 15, 20, possibly even 30 yards extra distance, you saw here, I picked up about 9 miles an hour just now by staying in tempo but speeding up that tempo. Now, I want you to try this at home. Hopefully most of you will have a radar already at home, something you can measure your swing speed with. And I want you to go to the App Store, and there's lots of these metronome apps out there. This is the one that I happen to like because it's got a really cool sound effect that really helps you count out the beats. And then what I like to do is I like to play it first at 180 beats per minute. That's 3 beats per second. In other words, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I play it at a waltz count, because a waltz count is 3 beats per measure. So a waltz count would be your forward press, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's a pause at the top. In fact, if you make this like a pendulum both directions and you do kind of sprinkler swings, it's and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's very even and rhythmic, but you can see, if I slow it down a bit, you can really see that little brief pause at either end of the swing while the metronome reaches 0 velocity and slowly starts to gather speed back on its way down. Then what I will do after I find that 3-to-1 rhythm at 180 beats is I'll speed it up to maybe 225 beats, which would be more of that 3/4 of a second, 1/4 of a second, still 3-to-1 ratio, but now you're going to hear a faster click. Bump, 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 ready. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Now you remember I promised you a bonus tip, and this is something I've learned from guys who hit the ball over 400, 420, 430 yards out on the long drive tour. I've coached 100, 150 of these guys out there over the years. And what's really amazing is what they do on their backswing. They all use this trick, of course, to the maximum extent. You're not going to see very many very slow and rhythmic swings that hit the ball a long way. You can check this with people on tour too, like Bryson, like this new kid, Potgeist, Rory. When they're going after a long one, you see they're using the same trick. They've been using the same trick the whole time. It's been right in front of your eyes. But I'm going to use a stick to show you what I mean. What the trick is we're going to change our count. Remember before we started going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, you know, at the bottom of the swing, if you're going to make a fast clubhead speed, you're going to hear a nice loud swoosh sound. But what these guys do on top of that is really amazing, is they also make a swoosh sound with their driver. This is how fast these guys, how strong and big they are. They'll make a swoosh sound as they take the club back. So you're going to replace, at first you're going to do something like this. You're going to do and 1, 2, 3, swoosh, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, swoosh, 2, 3. But guys on the long drive tour, they take it even one step further. So you really want to hit it out there. It's going to be 2 swooshes. It's going to be swoosh, 2, 3, swoosh, 2, 3. And what that does is making a swoosh sound, or intending to on the way back, really gets your tempo working faster, but still rhythmic, because you're still going to have that little pause at the top. You're still going to have this slow rhythmic crescendo coming down, but it would look something more like this. And swoosh, 2, 3, swoosh, 2, 3, swoosh, 2, 3, swoosh, 2, 3. That's it. Like that. So you can hear a little swoosh as I take it back. Now, not only is this giving you more club head speed because it's speeding up that 3-to-1 ratio, which everybody on tour does, is right in front of your eyes. They swing faster on tempo when they want to hit a longer drive. Now, why this also works is this initial swoosh of taking it back, or the intention of making a swoosh sound right in this range here, will also cause some momentum. For some of you older golfers out there, that momentum is going to help take that club back a little bit further and get your body stretching a little bit more, just because you've added momentum into the club starting back, which is now harder to break as you reach the top of your swing. It simply takes a little longer for you to break and bring this to zero again. So it's going to help you get your swing longer, swooshing through here, also getting your swing longer going in this direction. And before long, you're going to be hitting it farther than you can believe. All right, here comes a swing at regular tempo. It should be, for me, maybe I'm a little slower than the average, maybe 27 to 9. That's still a 3-to-1 ratio. Very even, very unhurried. And this will be kind of my normal drive. So that was me swinging at, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to pick up the pace, still in rhythm, but now we're going to pick up the pace and we're going to go to long drive tempo. It's going to be about 3/4 of a second to 1/4 of a second coming down. And that looks something like this. Whew, that ball is smoked. All right, the numbers for those two drives have come up on the screen. You can see a big difference in club head speed, ball speed, and distance out there. And I didn't noticeably increase my effort level on either one of those two drives, but instead I just tricked myself into mirroring the faster tempo. And of course, this makes the downswing take a shorter amount of time. Therefore, you're going to make the club go faster. All right, so get yourself a speed measuring device, get yourself a free metronome app, and I want you to practice this. If you're looking for more power and distance off the tee, this is going to be a really easy place to look, as in manipulating the tempo, tricking yourself into swinging up to 5, 6, 7, 8 miles an hour faster just by speeding up to what we might call long drive tempo. If you have any questions, or you just noticed that I'm not wearing my glasses today, then leave it down below in the comments. I'm Steve. Check out my website, hititlonger.com. And oftentimes you need more help than YouTube videos. So just keep in mind you can get personalized coaching from me either in person or online. Email me at this address or head over to my website and sign up today. And if I don't see you in the next video, I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.